Hello, I'm Scott Bulkey from Combat Sports UK, here with Darragh Kelly, ahead of his upcoming fight at Bellator Champion Series. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Tired after that week's training, but good.
And how has the training camp been for this fight?
It's going very well. It feels like I've been in camp now since end of March, April. I had two fights back to back. It took maybe a week in between, just still tipping through the motions, but feels like I've been going a long time now. So I've made a good bit of progress, and it's gone good.
And speaking before your last fight, you were saying that you were wanting to get one more fight in before the end of the year, and now you have got this. Was
Yeah.
did you have any talks before that last fight about a card you were wanting to get on?
Well, I at the start I says I wanted to get on the Paris card,
Yeah.
but I wasn't fussy. It didn't really make any odds, to be honest. London or Paris. I'm just happy I got on one. I called for activity, so now I'm getting it, so it's great.
And you are facing an undefeated fighter. Does that
Mhm.
bring any more challenges?
Oh, of course, the guy's he's a solid fighter. Like he's 9-0. Um, he's the main thing I take from that is he knows, forgetting about his level and things like that, he
Yeah,
knows how to win every time. Do you know what I mean? Like winning 9 fights in a row, it's not easy to do. So of course it's going to be a test in there. No matter what happens, he's going to be good at finding a way to get the job done. So I've got to be a step ahead of him. And we're both undefeated, 9-0, 6-0. I am. Makes it a bit more exciting. Somebody's O has to go, as they say. And I can take a lot of pride in beating this man. It's a good name to take for myself, so makes it a bit more exciting for me. It feels like there's more on the line.
and how has Bellator been for your career? All your professional fights, apart from one, have came for Bellator. How is that?
It's brilliant. I was lucky enough to be able to make my debut with the promotion, so there's not many people go straight in with them, and they've looked after me well. The inactivity I was talking about, some of that's down to myself too. I had injuries, a few operations, but now I couldn't complain about them at all. They're looking after me, and now since PFL has taken over, I think that they will keep us more active as well. So yeah, I'm very happy.
And what has changed for you with the merger with the PFL? Has it really just stayed the same, or has there been changes?
No, it's much the same. Other than well, here I am now fighting on a London card.
Yeah.
So before that, all of my fights were in Dublin. So maybe that's the change. They are going to bring us away and fight us more often. But no, they took my same contract over, and it's much the same. And just the activity, I think, will be the difference.
And how is your contract? Do you still have a few fights after this one remaining?
Yeah. So the last fight I had was the first fight on a new 4-fight contract. So after this, I'll still have 2 fights left.
And have there been any talks about a potential call up to the UFC or the Contender Series, or are you just fully focused on Bellator?
No, I'm fully focused on Bellator at the minute. I'm happy with my contract. They're looking after me nice. But never say never. I've got 2 fights after this, as I said, and so I'll weigh up my options once I get there.
Exactly. And there is a lot of Irish fighters in both brands at the very top level. Obviously, with the UFC, you have Ian Gary, Conor McGregor. In PFL, you have Paul Hughes, who's just announced his move from Cage Warriors to Bellator.
Mhm.
How big do you feel like the Irish MMA scene is coming now?
I think there's definitely a new wave coming through. I can see it in my own gym. There's a lot of amateurs turning over pro now, and a lot of guys with maybe less than 10 fights here are on the come up. But it's not just SBG. You mentioned their Fight Academy Ireland. They look to have a solid team coming through with a lot of guys just turning over pro now. So I think Irish MMA in general is really, there's a new wave coming through. And I think it's going to keep going like that. The whole sport is so new. Never even mind Ireland. I think the level is going to continue to rise at a quick rate, but it's good to see Ireland keeping up well with it.
And like you were saying, most of your fights for Bellator were in Dublin. How was that fighting in your home country?
Oh, it's brilliant. Like, I'm not like obviously I've only had one amateur fight outside of Ireland, so I'm not too familiar with it. Like, but I love fighting the three arena. I love fighting in front of the home crowd, of course. But I am excited for a wee change now to go over to London and something new. Um, I'm not sure how. Like, I'm first fight of the night, so we're not going to see a massive crowd, and I'm not fighting an English guy. So I don't think there'll be too much animosity there, but it'd be nice to get a wee change and see what it's like to fight somewhere else.
And in your last fight, you also got the victory in the first round due to a technical
Mhm.
guillotine choke.
Yeah,
Just explain to me, how did that fight go for you?
yeah. I'm not going to say it went to plan because that wasn't the plan, but you'll take that when you get it. Um, I worked a lot on my strike in that camp, and of course we didn't get to see it. But
Yeah,
even just the wee things we were working on, fainting more and things like that, I think that's what made him uncomfortable, made him choose to clinch up. He closed the distance, kind of panic clinched. And then from there, I just went into autopilot and the grappling side of things took over. And yeah, he decided to keep going for the takedown once we were on the ground and didn't defend the neck quick enough. So,
and like you were saying, you had a 1 week break and then you're back in the gym. Are you liking this quick fight back in the gym, fight back in the gym? Is that what you're wanting?
yeah, yeah, because like in my amateur days, that's the way I like to do it. I would do fights back to back because it's maybe that's a bit of laziness kicking in for me. I don't know. If you have one fight at the start of the year, one fight in the middle of the year, and a fight at the end of the year, you're back to square one with your cardio and your fitness. So it's a lot of work to get to fight fitness. It's a
Yeah.
full 12 weeks of graft. Whereas I had a fight camp behind me. Now I'm going into this next camp already fit. I'm just ticking over, improving a wee bit, where I can focus more on my technical side of things instead of having to worry about my cardio so much. So I like that. I went into the start of that camp at fight fitness level. So that's why I like that. It's a wee bit less grueling.
And obviously, you are based in Ireland. When are you moving to England for this event? Are you just coming over just to get for the weigh-ins and then the fight, or are you going to look to spend a couple of days beforehand?
I'm coming over on the Wednesday. Me and a few of my team. So I'll chill out for a couple of days, maybe go
Either.
out, and then we'll get the business done on the Saturday.
Exactly. And obviously, you you are from Ireland, but do you feel like you still have the support from the home ground due to it being relatively close?
Well, I have a good crowd traveling over with me, and I know a lot of people from home are living in London, so there's maybe 30 from London going. So, first fight of the night, as I said, the place will be relatively empty, I would imagine. So you'll be able to hear my supporters coming on. I'd say there'll be about 100 on.
Well, that sounds good. And what
Yeah.
was it that brought you into that cage for the first time?
I always get asked this question. I'm not sure. Just I always like fighting, so I didn't know what career I was going to go down. So what was the one thing I was good at and enjoyed doing? Fighting. Fuck it, I'll try that.
Exactly. And what do you feel like has been your trickiest fight to date?
Trickiest fight to date. Uh, Probably the my second pro fight against Kai Stevens. I went into that fight. I went into that fight. I prepared badly, and I didn't have a game plan. Overconfident. Was cutting corners, and I think I made that one the trickiest fight of my career. I gassed out a wee bit, and I was very inefficient with my energy. So that was the trickiest night of my career.
And has there been anything that any fighter has done in the cage which has surprised you? I know, speaking to other people, they have said the fighters have tried to talk to them in the cage and start chatting to them. Has anything like that happened to you, or what has any fighters done to try and get that advantage?
Aye, well, a few boys have started talking in there, but you know, it's not gonna do much to me. Like. What can they say? Like, you're fighting on I. I won't play
Exactly.
with my head on it. Yeah,
And this fight is at a lightweight, and all your
yeah,
professional fights at Bellator have been lightweight. However, in your amateur days and in that one fight that won with Bellator, you have fought at featherweight. Do you feel
yeah.
like we could see you back at featherweight at all, or do you feel like lightweight is your set weight division?
So I had two pro fights with Bellator at featherweight. Um, I can't make the weight. Uh, did I gain anything from doing it? I don't think so. I think it might just be a wee bit too much for me. I can't make it and I can fight well at it, but I think I'm better suited. I'm a bit too big. I'm better suited for lightweight, and I think I perform better. So I don't think you'll be seeing me at featherweight unless there's a big offer comes in or a good fight. So nah, I'm happy at lightweight.
And with a victory again at the fight, who are you looking to face off next? Do you have a specific name in mind, or are you just going to wait to see who Bellator offers you next?
Should have names, but to be honest with you, I probably couldn't even name 5 fighters in the division. I need to go and do a bit more study in that department now. But taking a one over this man, it might shoot me up higher in a bit, and there's a wee bit more value in my name. So maybe after this, I'll study it a bit more and start thinking of my next moves and pulling a few names out of the hat.
Exactly. A win here can get you right up those rankings to get you another big fight. Thank you for coming on. That has been fantastic. I'm going to give you the final word. Anyone you're wanting to shout out, anything else you're wanting to say?
Just a thanks to all my sponsors, like they're the ones who back you and make life that wee bit easier. So I'll not go in and try and name every one of them in case I forget someone, but should I tell my sponsors?
Right, thank you for coming on.